Good evening and welcome to It Is a Dark Crusade. We start tonight's scene with Madeline. She is just taking a short walk at the city. Um, some of the outlying areas do have people, and they're not within the city walls, but there are people out there. And her two ghouls are giving her company. They haven't really spoken while walking, but Madeline is taking the time to just maybe get a feel for the surrounding areas and not be weighed down so much by the sounds and stenches of the city. She is also here because she needs to talk to someone. Maybe official, maybe cordial or social, who knows what will come out of it. But she is on the lookout for a Julia of Clan Gangrel.
Walking out of the city in one of the kind of smaller gateways to enter into, you see, of course, about a few about a few feet away or so, you see what looks to be kind of small little kind of barrack-like areas where there are horses being fed and being taken care of, and you see people kind of running around, kind of taking care of horses and feeding them, watering them, that sort of thing. You see other groups of people that they're kind of wearing, they're not wearing chainmail armor or anything, they're wearing kind of like leather kind of clothing, scouting kind of attire. And you see among them Lady Julia, as she is still adorned in her armor. She's conversing with them about something. It seems to be something rather funny, as they're all kind of laughing about it. She'll stop when she sees you, and she'll say to the scouts that she's discussing things with that she'll be back, and she promptly moves from that area and goes over to you.
Good evening, Lady Julia.
Good evening.
I hope I am not interrupting anything.
She looks to the group of men. No, no, do not worry about that. They are, to be quite frank, they are getting lazy. But that will not last long. I'm fairly certain.
I am quite sure that you are a tough but fair teacher.
Well, she kind of scratches her short hair that's been kind of cut. I can only do so much. I guess when it comes down to it, I think of myself as the mother dog. If I don't nip at the heels of my pups, then they're never going to learn how to run fast to catch the hounds. No, to catch the foxes and the rabbits, I guess.
Hmm. I can see the merit in such a, well, approach to life.
But surely you did not come here to uh, check up on me, I'm assuming.
Perhaps I did. You are a quite, perhaps not unique, but it is rare that I meet female knights or female fighters of high esteem.
Unfortunately, my dear, it is because it only takes a certain few. Unfortunately, there are many women who can't. take up arms in such a manner.
And does this detract from your accomplishments in your ability? I do not believe so. I would say it only makes you stronger. No?
She she kind of rubs under her understand what you're saying.
Uh, you cut out there. She rubs under her. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You cut
Hello?
out. Yeah. I can hear you. You cut out. The last thing I heard was she rubs under her, and I suppose you could say, or I think you're about to say chin, but
Yes. She just says, I see what you mean, Madeline. But please, uh, what is troubling you? It seems that, well, for a lady such as yourself to come out of the city, even to, she kind of looks at the night sky for a moment. Even if you are doing stargazing, that something seems to be on your mind, as if trying to give you an excuse as to why you're outside of the out of the city gates.
Madeline will just go over to her. She will come quite close to her, and she will take her hands and just hold them to her. Well, she will hold her hands and she'll just say, "Do I need an excuse to come and visit one such as you? You are uncompromising and quite proud. These are qualities I will seldom see in a person such as yourself, and I must say I find it a bit intriguing." But while she holds her hands, she will just say, "There is something I would wish to impart on you. It is nothing major. It's nothing that might is out of my jurisdiction, I suppose you could say. But remember how you relayed information that was keyed, perhaps, together with other observations of a city, smaller city in the outskirts, hit with a plague?
Yes, yes. Recently, recently myself and Jean Girardin have returned to that place, and the dead do not stir again. It seems they have our actions there have prevented it. The small city, town, whatever you wish to call it, is nothing more than ashes. Jean had called a priest to come and bless it, and the priest has should have returned by now. Jean has not. He is, to be quite frank, my dear, he does not love the city. He hates it. And frankly, I agree with him in some ways. This city, even though I was born in one, raised in one, and I fought to defend one against horrible, horrible men, there's something liberating about being outside of its gates, to be able to move, to, I guess, live again. Kind of a
One,
funny statement.
one should not deny one's blood. One should understand it and come to a position where one is able to control one's beast. I will not fault you for this, not in one slight bit. I commend you for listening, and I believe that this is a common thing in your blood, no?
Yes,
Well,
but it is, well, as my sire, as he put it, the desire to move around easily is within everybody's blood, not just our own. It's just that
Well,
ours speaks more strongly when we're outside of city walls. When
I
we're
suppose, I suppose this is true, but what I was about to speak of, what actions did you take in this city? Did you just put down these all of these dead things?
yes, that is what we attempted to do. Yes, myself and Jean, we took with our blades, our claws, everything that we had to stop these creatures. They do not bleed like mortals do.
Oh, I know. I met them inside the city. Did any
As
of did any of them carry weapons of any kind?
the only weapons that they had were not really weapons at all. They had knives, they had pitchforks. These were villagers, these were not soldiers. I saw a few, uh, I assumed to be perhaps visiting guards, perhaps, that were coming from the city to go to Odessa or what have you, but nothing out of the ordinary of any kind of weaponry.
Well, a person known only as the Lady of Wrath or Rot, depending on the mood of this person. An old woman, seemingly traveling with her sons, who seemed sickly. They seemed to be quite close to your description. Me and Joanna were attempted to be captured and killed by many of these and the woman herself. I truly do not know if it is a Cappadocian or what it is, but we managed to escape. But she is within the city, the source of these things. And I would simply like to extend my gratitude for bringing this to our attention. The sheriff is now informed, and the correct action will be taken.
She nods at this, but she kind of looks at the city for a moment. The real problem is not the fact that they are in the city; it's the fact that they got in the first place. While we cannot
Well,
we cannot
depending
keep
on
everyone out of the city, but
depending on
yes,
what this person might be or might not be, stopping a person from coming and going might be a lot more difficult than any of us realize. There are some creatures that are quite capable of coming and going into a city. No walls will stop them. But this is a moot point. I merely wished to inform you of this. Since you had shared information with us, I would share information with you.
I appreciate that, Madeline. Thank you.
Oh, think nothing of it. But if you feel a debt to me in a small way, perhaps the two of us can meet again soon. Talk, walk,
She
hunt.
thinks. She thinks for a moment. Dear Madeline, have you ever? She thinks for a moment. Have you ever seen the desert at night?
Very little, but a bit.
Perhaps we can do that sometime.
I would be honored.
Perhaps she kind of nods. She doesn't smile. Uh, she just kind of gives you kind of like an affirming nod, if you will. I will I will inform you of a time when we can do that. Hopefully, it will be sometime soon. Perhaps I can. She thinks for a moment. I can show you the pleasures of being outside of the city, if only for a night.
I will hold you to that. She smiles. But, well, I will await a note or notification from you. But alas, I must go back to the city. There are so many things that require my attention.
He, I mean, she nods as you return into uh, the gateway of the city, and another figure. You, you smell it upon your on your nose, a particular perfume. You've smelt it once before, uh, as a rather risque-looking woman, uh, wearing very much that outfit, but she's kind of wearing a like a hooded kind of cloak, if you will, as if to be somewhat modest in her attire. Well, it seems you two are getting very close to each other. I like it.
Well, I try my best. We must all expand on our horizons. Would you not agree?
Of course, my dear, we should always expand our mind and other things. But let me give you a bit of advice when it comes to Julia. She will break your heart, my dear. That is simply what Outlanders do.
Hmm. Like most other kindred.
Uh, Siri she chuckles a bit. Oh, my dear, I wouldn't break your heart. I would rip it out, but I would never break it.
Oh, well, I was thinking of. I must have misheard you. I thought you said drink my heart and not break. A heartbreak of, well, I would be able to contend with heartbreaks. Some would say I might actually see them out in some ways. But the applerists, that is something that I would be a little more hesitant, but very few people in this city would openly do such a thing.
You are correct, my dear. That is very true. But perhaps soon there will be a little more pleasant excitement within the city. None of these troubles that have been running around. Hopefully, as the summer comes to its close, there will be a grand party, maybe. Ah, that would be wonderful to see.
Are you hosting, or is it merely a party of the whole city?
Perhaps I will host something somewhere. I have some ideas for things. Do not worry, my dear. I will, of course, have you on the list of honored guests. And she kind of puts her finger under your chin, kind of towards your jugular. And your little friend, the one in the sister, Johanna. Yes, she is more than welcome to come and visit me anytime.
Hmm. Well, you speak truly when you would say that you would break or rip out my heart, I suppose. You have your eyes on many people.
Of course, my dear. The hawk, for all intents and purposes, he cannot just simply hunt the rabbit. No, he has to hunt the fish and the snake and the fox if he is to survive.
Oh, quite so. But pray tell, if you can, what would I be in this? Or which creature would I be?
She thinks for a moment, and she kind of giggles and says, "Well, it's quite simple, my dear. You are the crocodile. You pretend to be you pretend to be the log, unassuming, innocent, a creature that people can depend on to hold them up as a foundation. But as soon as their backs are turned, you bite them and you bring them into your depths, and then they are never seen again. And as soon as you're done, you come right back to pretending to be a log all over again. And the cycle repeats. That is why you are a crocodile, maybe. You are a creature of unassuming nature, but deep down inside, you have a primordial beast within you. And I'm not talking about the beast within.
I truly pity the men or women who would see a simple dancer in the likes of you, for their demise is all but certain.
My dear, for all intents and purposes, their demise may be certain, but like the snake, when it bites your foot, you will feel pain. You will die, yes, but the pleasures of the dreams you will have in your final moments are more than appropriate. She, as she says that, she kind of twirls a bit, as if she's dancing, and she goes, "Please, my dear, give Johanna, give her a pleasant hello from Orsiri. Tell her that she hopes to see her soon. And please, take care of yourself. It would be a horrible thing to see a crocodile get turned into a piece of leather."
That would truly be a shame, although it would be a very good looking piece of leather. Well, have a good evening, my dear. And I truly, truly wish to see you dance would be a majestic thing in our
Oh, my
midst.
dear, you can come see me dance anytime at my establishment. But I do want you to. The one more thing, if it would be not too much, please tell. I've heard of one of your own, or seen that he owns an establishment, does he not?
Well, a different kind of dancing is done in that place, but yes,
She she kind of dances, kind of twirls back to you, and she whispers into your ear. Please tell him to keep his grubbing mitts out of my business. If he doesn't, then I will cut off the thing that he does not need anymore. Or maybe I'll take the things that he does, like his eyes. And she gives you a very, very quick peck on the lips. And almost as soon as she's done that, and very much like a snake that is, uh,
Actually,
oh,
actually, when she's kissing Madeline on the cheek, right?
yes.
Madeline will just turn slightly and kiss her on the mouth, and Madeline will just slightly just put a hand above her, or like just on her cheek as she's doing it. She's doing it. She will enjoy that for a couple of moments.
As you do that, as you put, as Madeline puts her mouth to Osiris, uh, she actually doubles up on your action. You feel her tongue within Madeline's mouth, and you feel hands gripping uh, her hips rather aggressively, so as if your attempt to unnerve her has basically made her want to unnerve you even more.
Um, as far as Osiri can probably tell, Madeline doesn't seem to try to unnerve her. If she didn't know better, she would say that Madeline is actually enjoying this.
And as the moments kind of click away, Orsiri simply kind of boops her on the nose. Now, if you can deliver that message, I will give you a very special thanks that I feel you would appreciate more than most. Good night. And very much again, like a snake, she just quickly slithers off into the darkness.
Madeline will just walk, begin to walk away, and she will just think of it, just savor the muted, but still the sensation of what just transpired. And she will, inside Madeline's mind, a couple of things will just jumble around, like, perhaps this is a person that understands her road more than what is led on, or maybe she's just seeking pleasure above all. Who knows? A thing to be examined in the future. With those thoughts, Madeline will begin to head towards her home once more.
And with that, this scene comes to its wonderful conclusion.
Thank you very much for players for playing and watchers for watching. Good night.